Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is Saturday morning, so you know it's time for another live edition of The Extra Point. As you can see, the Goon Squad is in the house shortly, but we got the Hitmakers on set. We got Tasha T. Sizzle in the middle square. Michigan Mike with his dog collar on, with his military tags. And so we're ready to get this thing started. We got a ton of sports to talk about. We're going to cover the total gamut of sports, basketball, baseball, football. We got you covered today. But before we get into any of that, we have to get a word from our sponsor.
We are sponsored by May Janes Coffee. That's MAEJANES Coffee.com. You can get your Colombian and your whiskey blend coffee. That's all she sells now, guys. Again, she also has t-shirts and the syrups to go in the coffee if you're one of those people who don't like it strong and dark. Thank you guys again for your continued support of May Janes Coffee. Please, please, please continue to order. That's MAEJANESCOFFEE.com.
Right on. Shouts out to May Janes Coffee. Make sure you get your order in. And we are also brought to you by
Wolverine Comics. We buy, sell, and trade. So go ahead and take a look at our Instagram page, Wolverine_Comics TX. We have a lot of reels on there as well, and a lot of links. So in case you want to know, just hit me a message and we'll see what we can do.
Right on. Shout out to our sponsors. They are gaining steam. We do appreciate each and every one of you checking them out. Now, let me bring y'all's beautiful faces up. Y'all, it's countdown to kickoff. We got plenty of football to talk about. We got some baseball, some basketball to get into today. But I want to start with the list that I saw earlier this week that I got questions about. As we used to say back in the radio days, I got questions, damn it. And if I got questions, there's only two people on earth that I'm going to go to for the answers. They're sitting right before you. So let's bring this up. Thank you, producer Mike. The ESPN has released their 2022 NFL top 10 QBs, as you can see right here on the screen. And I got a ton of questions. T-Sizzle, let me start with you. Is Lamar, a.k.a. Aaron Rodgers, is he the number one quarterback in the NFL still today?
No. And you guys know I'm not an Aaron Rodgers fan, but his play...
Oh, you think?
But his play, I'm a stand for that because, I mean, he is a great player. But I was listening to something, and one of the people made this observation. Aaron Rodgers is a good quarterback is a different quarterback in December than he is in January. You think we give him all this honor, these praise, these GOATs, these MVPs, which are deserved, but how many Super Bowls how many times has he led his team to the Super Bowl? How many Super Bowl victories does he have? So he's a different player. So I'm going to switch that, and I would put future Hall of Famer Patrick Mahomes in at number one.
Interesting. Yeah, and people would shudder to think that in 50 years, if his career ends the way it does, that he will have the same amount of Super Bowl victories as Trent Dilfer.
Yes.
I'm going to let that just sit right there. Mike, your boy.
Rings don't mean a thing, but go ahead.
Right. Now, Mike, your boy, Mr. Thomas Edward Brady, Mr. GOAT himself, is sitting at 4. Is that too low? Is that disrespectful? You say what, Mike?
No, I think that's too high, man. Come on now. That's 2022 NFL top 10 quarterbacks. Like, I'm going to keep it real.
What? Mike, hold on. Wait a minute. Say that again real slow. You saying that Tom Brady at number 4 is too high?
Yeah, I mean, you have to take into account if you give me top 10 quarterbacks out there, I'm not going to put Tom Brady at number 4. Like, let's be real. His talent has decreased. That's why it's so impressive that he went over to the Buccaneers and still won a Super Bowl. He's at that age where, I mean, honestly, you could take this top 10 and take a look, reality check at these older quarterbacks, quote, I mean, including Stafford. Like, he's not getting younger either. Like,
right.
I mean, I think right
him there in the top 10 myself.
Yeah, I mean, I would probably drop him a little bit, but let's be real. Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, I would move them all a little bit up, in my opinion.
So you think these are sort of like legacy slots that these execs?
I think so. I think they're thinking about past records, past performances. Nope. And to me, every year you got to restack it.
With the exception of Aaron Rodgers, I don't think that's a legacy because I mean, again, when I call him Lyron Rodgers, he still goes out there and performs. He doesn't look like he's broke down. He still looks like
whoa. Can we zoom in on that picture? The man looked old enough to be the father of every other player on this list.
I didn't say looks because he looks really greasy there. I'm saying if you got what they say, that 2-minute drill, whatever. I'm not gonna be scared if Lyron is out there. But I don't know that decision he made in that one game. We're not gonna bring that up. They could have been in the Super Bowl playing against Patrick Mahomes. But I digress.
Very, very true. Now sticking with Mahomes and with Rodgers. Question to the both of you. Either one, feel free to jump in first. Now, the two at the top of the list have lost their top weapons, two of arguably the best weapons in the entire league. Davante Adams is gone from Green Bay. He is now in Vegas. And the cheetah himself, Mr. Tyreek Hill, is no longer with Patrick Mahomes. He is in Miami, where it's Tua time. Now, my question to both of you, which one of these quarterbacks do you think is better equipped to overcome the loss of their number one receiver? Tasha, you first.
Mahomes.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, even though Tyreek Hill is a game changer, that's basically a track star football player. That's just what he is. I think it's easier to build around Mahomes because Mahomes is still hungry. He's still thirsty. He still wants everything. What's the guy that's replacing, supposed to be the number one now? I mean, he's a speedster too.
Hey, he's from Green Bay as well, Valdez-Scantling, yeah.
So, but like with Aaron Rodgers, I think he's going to out petty him, if that makes sense. He's going to petty himself into a bad situation because he's just that petty.
Okay,
you understand what I'm saying? Where I'm going with that? Not really.
Expound on the petty part.
Like Aaron would sabotage. He would cut off his nose to spite his face. He would sabotage.
Let's start with the beard. You know what? Let me digress.
How do you log out of this show?
Let's start with that beard. The man look 137 years old.
That greasy ass hair. I need him to cut that, and it's thin. Your hair's uneven.
Okay, all right. Back to the petty. So you're saying what?
I think he would sabotage a season just to get his point across.
That they should have re-signed Davante.
But I mean, it's also his fault they didn't re-sign him.
Right. He's the one that took up all the church's money. Mike, who do you think is better equipped to overcome the loss of their star receiver?
Better equipped mentally, I would say Aaron Rodgers, because he's done it before. Like, that's the good thing about having a veteran quarterback is like, okay, cool. Like, bring this person in, run this route. Okay, let's get a couple tempo things in, and then we're good. As far as Patrick Mahomes, like, that was his ace in the hole.
Yeah.
Like, you threw a little side slant to him, and then he's gone. So it's hard to replace that.
Travis Kelce, that's proven. So
right, but it's different. It's a different slot receiver, right? So like you give it to Cheetah, and he's going to take off for 20 after the catch. So I think Aaron Rodgers is physically. I would say Patrick Mahomes. He just has to get some practice in, and so we haven't really seen that. See him make another receiver a star receiver, and we've all seen those quarterbacks like, man, okay, I didn't even know about this wide receiver. Now, yeah, he's really good. So I think he has a talent for sure.
Last point on these two at the top. Would it be more important to you to have the running game of Aaron Jones if you're Aaron Rodgers to help supplement the loss of Davante Adams, or a Hall of Fame tight end like Travis Kelce if you're Patrick Mahomes? Which would you rather have as a quarterback if you were the quarterback? Would you rather have a Pro Bowl running back and strong running game, or would you rather keep your Hall of Fame to be tight end?
Well, it all depends on where you're trying to go. If you're Aaron Rodgers at the end of your career where you feel like you've received all the accolades and everything, you're not going to care as much to have a running back because you're going to hand the ball off and your numbers are going to decline because you're not passing. So it all depends on what they're thinking or what their goals are. But I would rather have the tight end because we know the running back career is short.
Right, and they are the most vulnerable to get hurt. Mike, You're a Big Ten guy. You like the ground and pound attack. Would you rather have an Aaron Jones in the backfield to help supplement the loss of your number one receiver, or would you rather have a security blanket of a Hall of Fame statue?
If we're talking about from a quarterback stance,
right,
then I would say tight end for sure. I would rather have Kelsey. I mean, we've all seen quarterbacks, we call them the security blankets for the tight ends. So I would definitely say Kelsey. I mean, you could still have, because you have to keep the defense honest. So we can always say, okay, well, what if they, back off some? You just need a basic running back just to keep them honest, do a little dive here and there, and then you're good. So you don't need a Hall of Fame running back for that.
You heard it here from the Hit Squad. Now, there are two notable names that are on this list and one notable name that's missing that I got to get your all's opinion on. Now, at 9 and 10, we have Deshaun Watson and Dak Prescott. Tasha, should they be on this list? And the show is officially starting.
Deshaun Watson, hell no. Hell no. I think Dak shouldn't.
Come on, say it with your chest.
Dak shouldn't be in the top 10. And I hate to say that because, that's clanger. It's tough.
I've been trying to tell y'all. Of course he belongs in the top 10, but keep going.
No, only reason why I'm saying that is tough with the omission or the one that you have that's ranked below him that we're going to discuss later. So I'm not going to fast forward.
Okay, Mike, were you surprised to see Deshaun Watson on this list at all?
Yeah, I was for sure. I was like, is he even? I guess he's gonna play half a season. Like for me, I mean, we talked about it. It's for the 2022 season,
right?
So it's like if he's gonna miss half the season, he should be further down the list. Like I don't get why. And plus, for me, go ahead,
Mike.
I was just gonna say, for me, if you're coming back from being out so long, you got to prove you still have it.
Exactly.
It's almost like Kaepernick coming back and saying, like, yeah, he's a top 10 quarterback, which he had the talent for. But it's like, would we put him in the top 10? Probably not. So it's like, why would we do that to Deshaun Watson?
Right. I totally agree. Tasha?
What was I going to say? Remember I was saying when the cap you're rocking, when the Browns signed him and gave him all that money, I was like, wait a minute, what was my thought? Wait a minute. And it was a good point. He gave him all that money. Oh, and I was like, you gave him all that money, even though he's not a top echelon quarterback per se. But who else you gonna get? That's kind of why I feel like Deshaun Watson is on there. It's like, who else you gonna get?
He don't belong on this list. Get him
He
the
don't
hell
belong
off
on
this
top.
list.
He doesn't belong on the top 10. I get that, but I mean,
if you didn't play last year, you don't belong on the list at all.
I would put Carr above Watson. Like that's easy.
I would have put Kyler Murray above Watson.
Kirk Cousins. Oh, Kyler Murray is a good one too.
I'll put Kyler Murray above Watson.
With you, gosh, why is my memory? Well, we know why my memory.
We know why that is.
Mike, I would even put Carr above.
Just say no more.
I would.
So, Mike, where's the?
I would put Matt Ryan above.
I'm sorry, where's Lamar Jackson?
When you told me when you sent this, I'd already knew because I'd already been watching television. They put my man in at number 11.
Lamar Jackson is not a top 10 quarterback. That's what the execs and the scouts are saying. But Deshaun Watson is. I'm going to need somebody to explain that. Mike, what the hell is going on? Why is Lamar Jackson not on this list?
Man, I think he's getting I think this last year's performance as a leader, I'm not trying to, I'm actually baffled as well. But I'm trying to figure out why. I honestly can't think. The only thing that I see in his performance that is pretty weak is when he rolls out. His accuracy for rolling out and completing a pass is actually one of the worst in the leagues. I'm talking about like dead last. And so if that's part of your quarterback game, which I know he has a really bad offensive line, but that's also built into his quarterback skill. So it's like, which one is it? You going to stay in the pocket or not? Right. You have to be one of the best accurate throwers. So That's the only weakness I see in him right now. But yeah, I still think he should be above Deshaun Watson.
And to your point about the offensive line, y'all remember he replaced Flacco. So that offense was not set up for Lamar Jackson. That was Flacco's, offense. If you just really want to be clear about it, he still came in and was he 6-1?
Yes, he was 6-1 his rookie season when he spelled Flacco.
Then didn't he come back and win the next year?
He was a unanimous MVP, but to the voters' credit,
go ahead.
His numbers have dipped the 2 seasons since then.
But I know I think it's one of those "what have you done for me lately" type things. But if you're talking about what have you done for me lately, Russell Wilson wasn't burning nothing up last year or the year before. Deshaun Watson didn't even play last year.
I'm totally baffled at the criteria they must have used for this list. So like Mike's point earlier, Brady at 4 is a legacy move. I think Rodgers at 1 he was the MVP last year, but we're talking about this year. I really think Josh Allen should be a little bit higher, be Mahomes, Allen, Burrow, and then we go down the list from there if you want to talk about pure quarterback talent.
But see, I understand the Joe Burrow. It may be a little premature, but I do understand Joe Burrow, given how they performed last year. They did make it to the AFC Championship game. Like I said, it's a little premature, but I can see why he's there. Matthew Stafford has no business whatsoever being on this list.
I agree that Matthew Stafford should not be on that list at all. If somebody would have blocked for Jamar Chase, Jamar Chase had a wide open touchdown in the fourth quarter of the Super Bowl. There is no Super Bowl MVP. There is no AT&T commercial with the whole leaving Detroit deal. I mean, that was all cute and all. But yeah, Stafford, that was more of Aaron Donald. This should be on that list instead of Stafford.
And I get Justin Herbert, but I don't think Justin Herbert should be above Lamar Jackson.
I don't think Justin Herbert should be on this list either, Mike.
What? Y'all are crazy. That boy's about to go off.
Got his job because they tried to murder the other quarterback.
Okay, well, once fantasy comes up, y'all go ahead and leave him for me then.
Now, see, that's it. That's just it. Mike is in love with his fantasy football team, and that's bleeding over into real life football. Justin Herbert hadn't even been to the playoffs. No,
he's still new. It's okay. This year is his year for sure.
But he doesn't need to be above Lamar Jackson. You think Lamar?
He don't need to be above Dak Prescott either.
Right.
Come on now.
Now, the thing about Lamar is, he was injured. Injuries happen. The rest of the team was injured. That happens as well. But let me pull up this quote really fast. Hold on. I pulled. I did some actual research. I had to get off the phone with my baby today.
She said today, Mike.
Because I don't do no research most of the time. Hollywood Brown, who was, okay. Facts. The narrative they trying to create on my dog is ridiculous. He can run the show in any type of offense. He just so happened to be in the one he had and doing it at a top level. And every wide receiver who ever played with him knows that.
Hollywood Brown is his boy. We're going to get into Lamar Jackson a little bit more, but the last thing I want to point out on this list is Dak Prescott is too low. I told you all weeks ago he's going to be the 2022 league MVP. Dak Prescott is getting no respect because people hate the Cowboys, just like you two do. And you don't want to give the man the clango fourth-round pick. If Justin Herbert was a fourth-round pick, they'd have him number 1 right now with what Dak has accomplished.
I mean, I'm not taking anything away from Dak.
Mike, stop laughing.
Again, it goes, if this is based off of where they think they're going to go, Mike and I both know, and we both think we know where the Cowboys are going to end up this year.
As division champs. Oh, we're going to break that down. You know what? I don't even want to get caught up in that. Bring your faces back up here. I want to see the whites of your eyes. Dak Prescott is too low. Lamar Jackson is too low. Tom Brady is too high. The best quarterback in the league is Patrick Mahomes. I do agree with you there, Tasha. Josh Allen is 1A. The man is a machine. He's Terminator 3.
But also, I wasn't really a Josh Allen fan, but his you got to give that praise to Stephon Diggs because look at his stats and stuff before he got Stephon.
Right, but that's just like Tannehill getting A.J. Brown when he took over starter. Sometimes you're just at the right place at the right time.
I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Gotcha. Now, our countdown to kickoff continues with our division previews. Last week we did the AFC East. This week we're doing the one division last year where all 4 teams had at least 8 wins. The most competitive division in all of football. Hold on, wait a minute. Steph says, "Woo, y'all serious early this morning." I will have no Dak slander, Steph.
That boy's booty. He is
booty.
booty.
We can meet up at the park. We can meet at the mall if y'all want to throw them things. But we're going to preview Mike, stay ready to fight. The AFC North. A fantastic and intriguing division from the quarterback position. Now, a few weeks ago, we played a game of run it back or run out of gas in regard to the division winners and from last year and where you thought they would wind up this year. I believe we were all in agreement that Cincinnati would run it back, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So let's take this one step further. Let's go AFC Championship. So with the Bengals being the reigning AFC champions, will they run it back to the Super Bowl or run out of gas? Tasha, you first.
Out of gas because we've already picked Buffalo.
No, you already picked Buffalo. Tennessee is going to get there.
Mike agreed with Buffalo. See, again, there you go with this rose-colored glasses. I need you to
It's called a gold-colored crown. That's what it is. The king.
You're going to be, Paul, you're going to be real disappointed this football season.
Yes.
You have the Cowboys against the Titans in the Super Bowl. Come on.
I'm still, but the jury's still out on the Cowboys, but the Titans, yeah, we might get that thing done.
There you go. Say it with your chest.
Right. So wait a minute, Mike. The Tasha's on record saying no, the Bengals will not make it back to the Super Bowl. Are you on record saying what?
I'm gonna have to agree. I got Buffalo on this one. Yeah, I have to agree.
Josh Allen is 0-3 against the Tennessee Titans. Stephanie, how could you? We're going to a game next month. Oh boy! All right, so let's just recap briefly what the Bengals accomplished. They finished a half game ahead of the Pittsburgh Steelers, who were 9-7-1. Pittsburgh had a -55 plus-minus point differential and finished within a half game of winning the damn division. I'm not sold on the Bengals even getting out of the division this year. That's going to the Baltimore Ravens. But we'll get to the Ravens here in just a second. Pittsburgh, Tasha, you always bet on black. They came within a half a game of winning the division last year. This year, you take out Big Ben Roethlisberger, you insert Mitch Trubisky. Does your coach, Mr. Mike Tomlin, keep his non-losing streak alive this year?
Yes, I'm going to say that again. I don't care if I thought he wasn't. You know what I always bet on, 25 on black. But anyway, and that's like I said last week, the offense that they're trying to run is suited for Mitch Trubisky. I'm not sold on Mitch Trubisky. I
might sell you in just a second as a teaser. I might sell you in just a second. Go ahead.
I thought he was his draft, where he went in the draft, was too high. But when he was playing at Carolina, I thought he was a good quarterback. I think he probably should have stayed another year. But I think the way the offense is going to be ran, and with Mitch Trubisky, I think this is when he actually gets it. And I think the Steelers are going to, go somewhere this year.
Mike, do you agree?
Yeah, I do agree. I think it's Trubisky's to lose. I think this system and just being in the league long enough, you kind of get to know, like you can pretty much go to another team and like get the scheme quicker than someone coming in new. I don't know about the Steelers though. I think they need more than just a quarterback for to come a playoff team. So
I mean, they got the defense.
Your boy
yeah. They do, but the problem is when you don't have all the parts there, and we kind of talked about having like a good defense but a bad offense, it kind of wears on your defense after a long time, even when you do have TJ Watt and whatnot. Yeah, so
Michigan Wolverines.
Ask the Wolverines.
Yeah, exactly. So I think they need more help. I don't think they're going to make it to the playoffs this year.
Now, welcome back, Wayne Donaldson, who brought fire flames last week when he started talking about Notre Dame being better than Michigan. Welcome back, sir. You said that with your chest. we think you're crazy.
Wayne,
But
get
good
on the
crazy.
show. We
But a
need
good
you on
crazy.
the show, Wayne.
Right. He definitely needs to come on because college football is right around the corner, and this guy knows his stuff. Them Donaldsons don't play around. Action Jackson is back this year. Ravens win his division. I agree, and we're going to get to that in just a second. But with Mitch Trubisky, y'all, his numbers really wasn't as bad as the heat that he caught being in a place like Chicago with Matt Nagy and that horrible coaching staff. In 4 years as a starter, Mitch Trubisky had 68 touchdowns, 37 interceptions, and a 64% completion rating. You'll take that over Big Ben's performance last year. Plus, he's younger, more athletic. You can put more into the offense, rollouts, bootlegs, things where Big Ben was just too old and he was a stationary target at that time where you could just tee off on him in the pocket, knew he couldn't escape. Mitch Trubisky, like Mike said, when you have a veteran presence that can come in and maybe pick up the offense a little bit quicker than the rookie and pick it, or if he doesn't beat out Mason Rudolph, Pittsburgh is in trouble anyway. And that's no disrespect to Mason Rudolph, but you didn't bring in Trubisky to compete with him. He should be your backup, and you're the rookie to take over eventually. If Mitch Trubisky can give them a 2-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio and complete 64% of his passes, you still have Chase Claypool, you still have Deontay Johnson, you still have Najee Harris, who had a great rookie season. You still got TJ and Cam Hayward and the boys on the defensive side of the ball, and most importantly, you still got Blade running the sidelines with the headset on. Mr. Mike Tomlin, Mr. You can't kill this man, the Day Walker. So this might be a division that keeps my Titans out. If the Titans don't make it, it's because 3 teams made it out of either this division or the West. Stop it, Tasha. Now
you called him Blade.
He's Blade. He's the Day Walker. I love Mike Tomlin. Now, Mike, let's go to Baltimore. Baltimore finished last year 8-9. They were the number 1 seed in the AFC as late as November until the injury that cost Lamar Jackson the rest of the season. They opened the season with their 4th-string running back and had a record-tying number of starters on injured reserve throughout the season. Is the cure for Baltimore to get back to the top of this division just getting healthy?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and that's the thing. I mean, it's easy to say, but it's hard to do. And it's a virus, like once you have that kind of like thing going around your team, like it's always in the back of people's mind, which then gets them more hurt. So it's like, I hope they get out of that funk. I really do like the Ravens, not just the organization. I mean, I like their color scheme and
hate
purple and black.
Like I hate the Ravens. They cost us 2 Super Bowls. Keep going, Mike.
No, I hope that they're back. Do I think that they'll come back? If I had to pick between the Steelers and the Ravens on who's going in, I would say Steelers are going in before the Ravens are.
I kind of agree with you on that one. There's something about like Mike Tomlin. But the thing is, the Harbaugh brothers, they get down in the coaching booth as well. Never count out John Harbaugh. He always has a trick up his sleeve. But Tasha, to Mike's point when he was saying about the injuries being a bugaboo thing going forward, could the style of play, Greg Roman's offense, that physical run, could that be a contributing factor to the number of injuries that this team seems to have every year?
Let me ask Mike this, because while you all were talking, I Googled something because I was just curious. I'm just see if I can prove a point. Mike, what are the Ravens missing the most? Is you think offensive weapons?
No, I honestly haven't been too impressed with their defense of stopping anybody. So when we take a look at their offensive last year, and yes, they had a lot of, I would say not success on their offensive scheme, but they also had a lot of injuries. So I look at their defensive schemes. They also didn't stop anybody either. So I would
surprising to me as well.
I would put their defense.
Okay, now I mean I know you guys knew this. I mean they did pick a safety the first round, the kid out of Notre Dame.
He's a monster.
But they also got the other half of the law firm from Michigan of Hutchinson and Ajabo. So
Ajabo is in Michigan.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Ajabo's in Pittsburgh, is what you're saying.
No, he's a Raven.
No.
Oh, he's a Raven. The Ravens are going back to the Super Bowl. I'm sorry.
That's what I said. I said they got the other half of the Michigan law firm of Hutchinson and Ajabo.
Ajabo was just as talented as Aiden Hutchinson, He just played on the other side. Oh my God, I'm gonna miss that team. Oh, that was such a glorious team.
Now, if that is what the Ravens are lacking, is defense, and if you're going to pin your AFC championship, your division championship on some unproven rookies who could ball, some unproven rookies.
They balled out at the college level.
I don't see, but Paul.
I know. I'm just saying. I'm just showing Ojabo some love.
Oh, we always go blue. Anytime I see somebody on screen, and I don't know if y'all do this. On NFL, they make a play and they went to Michigan. My ass sits here and says, "Go blue."
I always follow them along in the pros. That's true.
I always tell Stacy he went to Michigan, or I say, "Oh, guess where he went?"
Right, and she can break you down Michigan just like anybody else can now.
I say, "Go blue," but so I can't put Baltimore up there. I don't think they're going to be dismal. I don't think they're going to be terrible. It's hard to overcome those injuries and the style of play. Like we all say, the way they have Lamar out there playing is going to kill him. But that is his style of play. That's him.
Now, we have a question from the Goon Squad that I'm dying to get y'all's answer on. Mike, we're going to start with you. And the question is, has Jackson been figured out? And to a larger point, has Greg Roman been figured out?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's what I was talking about. A couple minutes ago? I was like, for his scheme to do a rollout pass or to roll out out of the pocket, that's his style of play. And he has one of the worst accuracies as far as precision goes in quarterbacks. It's like, if that's your scheme, you should have one of the highest precisions. Like, right. For me, like
chaos once you get outside the pocket with your running ability.
Yeah. So if anything, they're trying to push him outside, and then they're like, okay, well, he's not going to complete it anyway. So,
Mike, let me just go ahead and give you some nerd stats to prove your point and to answer Wayne's question a little more specifically. It started in the 2019 playoffs against the Tennessee Titans, his MVP season, when the Titans did exactly what you said. They blitzed him to the short side of the field where he had to roll out where there was minimal space. Wherever the hash mark they were on, they were going to blitz from the opposite side to run him to the short side of the field where he couldn't break away and run long, and he couldn't get the ball down the field. And it worked, a 28-12 victory. That's my last Titans reference for today. But that's just to prove your point on the blueprint that followed him in 20 and 21, where his numbers did dip from that MVP season. Tasha, what do you think? Has it been figured out?
Yes. Most definitely.
That just breaks my heart to hear this.
But I don't think it's the fact that they figured him out. Everywhere he's gone, this is how he plays. It's just him. What they figured is, he ain't going to do nothing different. That's what
that was close. That was close. I'm sorry, Tasha. That was close.
I know it wasn't.
You caught it. That was close. Mike?
They
digress.
No, but I think they've always known his style of play. I mean, we can even go back to like hating ass Bill Polian when.
Oh, he's a hater. He is a hater.
Like, he's a wide receiver. Now, I mean, I would never have pictured Lamar as being a wide receiver. If you were going to switch him, I would have put him at cornerback. But I mean, y'all know he's one of three that didn't even vote him. Was it All Pro or something that year? I mean, yeah, you had two others that didn't do it, but the fact of what you said about him, Bill, and, then you not voting for him, they gave it like to Russell Wilson or somebody. That's like the one Major League Baseball writer that didn't vote Ken Griffey in to make him a unanimous selection. Right. It's just the hate. It's just the hate. But I just really think they know what Lamar can do. It's spectacular. But my thing is too with that, what he can do, but can you stop it?
And this is the NFL. This isn't anything new. And I just lied. I'm bringing up another Titans reference. The same thing happened to Steve McNair. They started playing bully ball with him. Said, "Oh, you want to be a running back? Well, we're gonna just have you missing 7-8 games a year when we bust your ass up." And he had to morph into Air McNair, where he stood in the pocket and made throws from the pocket. It extended his career.
But do you guys think that Lamar can do that? I mean, we've seen Lamar throw, but do y'all think
better? He better do it, or he's going to be out of.
He has the talent. Yeah, he has the talent. Just stay there. Shuffle up and down.
Vince Young also great point
to do what Well, Wayne, you know Vince was also throwing that thing like this.
But he never
But,
evolved. Like the
yeah.
NFL coaches are way too savvy. They have been they're professional coaches for a reason. They study film, they will find your weakness and exploit it. You cannot, as much as we love the wow factor of a running quarterback, you cannot make a career out of scrambling and running for 1,000 yards a year.
That's the same with traditional quarterback pocket passes. If you have them, even though you knew Peyton Manning wasn't going to run,
couldn't stop him, and you couldn't get to him.
Stop him.
You couldn't even sack him.
Right. You couldn't stop him.
Because up here, he was 10 years ahead of you. Now,
Right.
before you all answer this question,
Go ahead.
Paula, you're a Titans fan and Cowboys fan.
He is a Cowboys fan first. So
no, that is not the truth.
Because there was no Tennessee Titans when you and I used to do the starter commercials in class. Because I used to talk about Emmitt Smith doing the running man.
I had a pair of Emmitt Smiths in 1992, as a matter of fact.
He is a Cowboys fan. Let's just get that out there. He is a Cowboys fan. Just like I'm a 49er fan, but I root for the Steelers.
I'm a Titans fan and root for the Cowboys. Mike saved me.
He is a Cowboys fan who is also a big supporter and fan of the Tennessee Titans.
I bleed the two-tone blue. I bleed it.
That two-tone, one of them tones in that blue is cowboy blue as well.
Now, that is true. That is true. If they ever made it to a Super Bowl, that's my heaven on earth. In fact, most quarterbacks get hurt in the pocket and not running. And the reason why I believe that is, and this may sound controversial, I may lose a follower for saying this, I think the reason why most running quarterbacks get hurt in the pocket because they spend too much time reading the coverage. That's not their natural deal. Their natural instinct is to run from danger. When you're sitting in there and you like, well, damn, I normally run before I get to the third read. Bam, now you're knocked out. So I don't know. Mike, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean,
Mike's like, I ain't touching that.
No, I could see how that's a thing. Especially you got more people blitzing after you rather than running out of the pocket. They're running to tackle you. And we got those rare occasions where you have like the Troy Aikmans where he's running out of bounds and gets demolished.
And his career got ended trying to run instead of staying in the pocket. Right. Ruined his career.
But yeah, I can see that.
Now, last but not least,
what Wayne just said, running quarterbacks don't win you championships. A lot of people don't know Steve Young was a running quarterback.
But Steve Young was a quarterback that could run. I think there's a difference. He was a quarterback that could run. He wasn't a running quarterback.
Also, but you look at it. Steve Young would put them wheels on, and he would.
And he was ahead of his time when he did it. But he could equally, if you put a cast on his leg, stand back there in the pocket and hit Jerry Rice over and over and over again without scrambling as well.
They didn't have a QB spy in place during that time.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Mike. Because don't even try to bring up no 49er stuff. We ain't talking about them today. Last but not least, Mike. The Browns. Now, the Browns went 8-9 last year. We're not even going to begin to go back to square one with how they wound up where they are today. But let me just ask you this. As a Browns fan, what is your reasonable expectation for this team this year?
If I were a Browns fan, then my expectations would be nothing to begin with.
Well, damn, Mike.
I mean, that's the truth. Like, you have to be honest. Like, if I guess playoffs would be like the best thing, and that's a fingers crossed and like a hope for. And if they make it to the playoffs, and you're like, yay, and throw up and throw like a party and everything. But yeah, no, my expectations are zero. I'm saying win some games and I'll be happy.
Put a number on it, Mike. No. This is the extra point. When we get in this booth, we tell the absolute truth. Put a number on it. 5 wins, 6 wins.
What's the over under? Does anybody know that? 4?
No. That's your job, man.
Right, Mike. You the over under, man.
I would say 6.
Jacoby Brissett. We're gonna say Jacoby Brissett plays the first half of the season. Let's just put that there.
I would say 6.
Plays the first 8 games.
6 wins.
But with Jacoby, if you have Jacoby Brissett in, I think you'll do. Oh, like I said, we don't know when old tug and pull and lay on the table is gonna come back. So if you had the whole season with Jacoby Brissett, I would give them 7.
I would too. And just as we posted it from a Facebook user, I think it's fair. And the thing is, I know the last couple of weeks, I personally kind of banged on Jacoby Brissett because I didn't like him with the Colts. because of my Titan fandom. But doing a little digging, Jacoby Brissett is not the worst option to have as a stopgap.
I keep telling people that.
Tasha, you are correct. Let me give you your flowers here on live TV. Jacoby Brissett, in his 6 seasons as a starting quarterback or getting to play substantial minutes, 36 touchdowns, only 17 interceptions, 60% completion percentage, and 13 rushing touchdowns. I'll take that for 8 games. I'll take that for 8 games if I got Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt behind me and a Pro Bowl offensive line and Myles Garrett and Joe Hayden on the defense.
And if Amari Cooper decides to show up for work,
now I don't. Right,
the division's a little bit different, though. Come on, let's be real, and it's not the Jaguars, like.
Right,
Mike. So you saying F them numbers?
I'm just saying.
I said F them numbers. This is what the side's going.
I mean, I'm not gonna say F them numbers because I just think
say it with your chest, Mike. That's what's up. F them numbers.
Yeah, I mean, I just think like Jacoby said, I always got the short end of the stick. That's what I thought because all of those games wasn't against the Jaguars.
All right.
Right, but it was again.
Because we can make this a tag team match, Wayne and Mike. We can make this a tag team match. I'll tag her in.
I mean, Paul, did you not? Paul, did you not say, Paul, that it was one of the strongest AFC divisions?
I did.
Thank you.
But,
I did.
I mean, Jacoby Brissett, of course, like we talking about top 10, hell, is he even on the list? But
no, nowhere near. No way.
You know, I mean, to be honest, if I had him over Mitchell Trubisky, I would feel a little more confident.
I would too, after looking at the numbers. I would too, because my thing is the 13 rushing touchdowns.
Numbers aside, I would feel more comfortable.
And he's a little more cerebral than I think people give him credit for as far as making the right play. He's not going to make the play to kill you. He's not going to throw for 4,000 yards. He only threw for 3,000 yards once in 6 years. And that looked like that was kind of flukish because the rest of the numbers didn't even come close to that. All right, so that is our preview of the AFC North. That should be a riveting division. Now, Tasha, I'm about to ask you a question. Now we'll let Wayne get the last word in on the preview. The Bengals will come back down to earth, not with the number 1 schedule this year. I agree. Yes. Roll Baltimore, roll. The Lamar Jackson's gonna come in second in the MVP voting behind one.
Coach Epps gonna do that thing. Coach Epps gonna do it.
Right. Well, we shall see. That's gonna be an interesting division to watch. Now, Tasha, let me ask you a question. Moving on to the National Basketball Association, of course. Is Kevin Durant bad for the league?
No.
Let's just start there because I'm going to tell you why I asked that question. Look, these two, you see those beads? Those beads are bad for
no 4C slander.
Excellent job by you.
No 4C slander allowed.
Excellent job by you. You can see them from a satellite on
but look at James Harden. I don't see his shit looking too straight neither.
Well, that's true. But that's weird. Wait a minute. Wayne says, hell no, he's not bad for the league.
Thank you, Wayne.
Let me get into this to see Mike. See, Mike, now you my tag team partner. Let's roll. And here's why I asked this. Because the Summer League games are going on right now in Las Vegas, Nevada. The who's who of NBA stars are there to watch the rookies get down for theirs. There's been some entertaining basketball, but Commissioner Adam Silver, he did kind of like a State of the Union address while he was out there taking questions from the media and things of that nature. And they brought up Mr. Kevin Kardashian Durant. And I'm going to explain to you why he's a Kardashian. Kevin Kardashian Durant was the subject matter. And Adam Silver said with his chest, I do not like what is going on right now in Brooklyn. I do not like the fact that these owners are giving players financial security, generational security, only for the player to not then honor the contract. Kevin Durant, like you said so eloquently last week, Tasha, he requested a trade the day before his 4-year extension was set to kick in. A $191 million extension that once he signs is now his guaranteed. Now, you knew all offseason before that extension kicked in that you wanted out of Brooklyn, but yet you signed the extension So to get the money, now you want to force your way out, which is really not honoring the contract. Now, Facebook says blame the NBA for allowing this. That's where I'm getting to with this. Mike, you kind of hinted to this during the season. Could what KD is doing now, could this lead to a lockout? Can owners be like, hell no, we're not facilitating this, I'm going to lock the whole league out?
Absolutely. Yeah, they that's what they do need to do. I mean, in the past, it's been players being like, no, we ain't going to play. But I think this is the time that owners are like, no, we can't keep allowing this to happen. I think it's kind of like when you're working for a job, right? And you're trying to do your job, but then you blatantly say, I don't want to work here anymore. I want to work over there, and I'm not going to do my job currently, but you have to still pay me.
Right. Like what do you mean? Tasha is chomping at the bit to get in here. Get in here, Tasha.
I got 2 points to what Mike just said. The first one is,
and that's true, Wayne. They don't have to trade them. But go
how
ahead,
y'all
Tasha.
gonna tell these people they can't ask to go somewhere else if they ain't happy?
Happy? What does happy got to do with your job?
It don't. If Mike, you out here slinging t-shirts and comic books, okay? If at your t-shirt slanging job, you say, I think I want to run the machine instead of make the graphics. Why are you wrong to ask for that? Why is that wrong?
So he's saying that he wants to be a coach now?
I mean, I'm just saying, why would that be wrong for you to ask, I want a promotion? Or
no, it's not even the same thing. The difference would be if I were saying, like, I want to go to a competitor, and you still pay me.
KD's not asking to play point guard. He's asking to move.
I get that. But both of you guys are missing the point. How are we to say they are wrong if they want something different?
But it's fine that they want something different, but you shouldn't re-sign a contract saying you want to stay there.
Okay, well, you know where that starts? Let's take that back to Cleveland. Had the Cavaliers...
I'm glad you're bringing up the King. All right, let's go, because I was waiting on this one.
No, had the Cavaliers put a stronghold on LeBron with that money, they could have kept him, and all of this other things wouldn't be happening now.
No, wait a minute. We're not going to blame LeBron on this. I'm not
blaming LeBron. I'm blaming Dan Gilbert. I'm not blaming LeBron.
But here's the difference between what LeBron did and what KD is doing. LeBron James left as a free agent from all of his destinations. He fulfilled his contract in Cleveland, then went to Miami. He fulfilled his contract in Miami and then went back to Cleveland. He fulfilled his contract in Cleveland, then went to LA. He honored his contract and then left as a free agent. You are
defending LeBron when I'm not talking about LeBron.
No, I'm saying the model of what he did. He didn't sign with Cleveland a last extension and then requested to be traded.
But it started in 2010. Had the Cleveland Cavaliers did what they were supposed to do, all this salary cap, all this movement, all this ask for trade, all these requests would not be into effect. I'm not blaming LeBron. And the thing is, I want all these brothers to get their paper. I want them all to get their paper. You come from New Zealand, Austria, Slovakia. I want everybody to get their money. But you can't blame these players for wanting to do something different. So what if all of a sudden Steph say, I'm tired of being the splash brother. I want to go here. Are y'all going to jump down Steph's throat?
Yes, and here's why. Now, the Facebook comment says, Mike, I'm about to come to you on this. He said the NBA sport their players don't cry when they always get their way. Now, as a parent, you may spoil your kid, but it's going to come to a stop at some point, which goes back to your point of a lockout is going to be looming.
Yeah. I think we've been saying that Kevin Durant's been acting like a little baby about not getting his way this whole time. I think that's the same way. Like, take away his money, see what happens.
That's my second point. Thank you. Mike, you are you Charles Xavier today, Mike? Because you pulling all my points out. The second point, Kevin Durant has never really said why he requested a trade. We're all assuming. How do we know he didn't request that trade? Because Brooklyn only signed Kyrie to 1 year. We don't know that.
But would you have signed Kyrie to more than 1 year?
I mean, no. But I'm saying we don't know exactly why KD is asking.
Because he's ring chasing. Because he goes to sleep at night with the crown.
No, he ain't thinking about that crown. Because that's what we're all assuming is because he wants to get another ring. That's what we're assuming. We don't know. He could have been saying, damn, y'all.
And it looks like he's been crying so much that nobody wants to pick him up from this quote trade. So maybe he's wanting to force the lockout.
They don't have the money for what it's going to take. And then by them just moving Ayton out of Phoenix, that even though he wants to go to Phoenix, what else do you have to offer?
Right. Now, Troy Logan, shouts out to Troy Logan. He says these players are picking captains and picking their teammates. Here's the problem with that. Let's go into we'll call it the real world. If you sign up with a cable provider and they put you on a 2-year deal at a certain price, if you leave in a week later, there's contract language that says there's an early termination fee where you will be penalized for that. These players are trying to usurp, trying to get the benefit of the contract price and usurp the cancellation fee to go somewhere else. It doesn't work that way. You cancel your internet service and you were signed up for a year at a certain price, they're going to hit you with an ETF, an early termination fee. With KD, my thing is, if it works, it works. But here's the fallout from that. Let's say, Mike, you're a Mavs fan. Let's say Luka decides tomorrow, I don't want to be in Dallas after they just gave him $250 million. You're going to hate Luka as a Mavs fan. Like, what? What do you mean? Ja just signed for $186 million. If he shows up to camp and says, I'm not playing unless y'all move me to Toronto because I want to play with Kyle Lowry, I'm going to be like, boo, get the hell out of here. I think it's a horrible fan experience for players to jump around like this. To that, you say what, Tasha?
But again, since the team that I naturally root for, the Detroit Pistons, aren't worth a damn.
They on the rise, though. They got some young studs.
I root for the player. And you LeBron people ought to appreciate that. Because how many...
He honored his contract. He did it the right way.
But it don't matter. You talking about teams hopping, and as a fan, you being mad. That's your point. That's your point.
No, I'm saying after you sign the contract, that's my point. Just leave as a free agent.
No, your whole point was what it does to the fan. If I'm the fan, I'm gonna do it. It don't matter. The contract don't matter because that ain't my damn money. I don't care. I'm not paying them. I don't care.
Well, Tasha, if you had a superstar, it would be different. What I'm saying is, if you're an owner and you sign a player to a max contract extension, and Mike, I'm gonna come to you with this one. You sign a player to $250 million that you're on the hook for, whether they show up to work or not. And then they come in the next day and say, I don't want to play here, move me, or I'm going to wreck the season. Now, I mean, I think that's trying to double dip. And that's going to cause these owners to go back to the drawing board, lock the season out until they bring the players to their knees and get rid of that.
But Joseph Stein and all those people in Brooklyn, they knew what could possibly happen when y'all allowed Kyrie to run the circus.
That's true. No, that is true. That is true. The owner in Brooklyn has some culpability if he facilitates the trade. But like Wayne said earlier, he might not. They don't have to trade him.
Yeah, they don't have to. Because, I mean, and they keep saying this on all the talk shows. Look at what's there. If you got Kyrie in his right mind coming to play, KD with the right mind frame saying, okay, I'm going to do this. And then the little girl, Simmons, if him coming, if he want to play, that could be actually a decent team.
That's what I'm saying. Then why not stick it out? Quit running, KD. You can't keep running in and out of my life.
But y'all know KD petty.
Mike, I'm gonna give you the last word on this. If you're Joe Tsai, owner of the Brooklyn Nets, are you? Hold on. Let me rephrase this question. Do you think owners are going to collude to not give KD what he wants to go to another situation?
I think they're going to. I think they're going to force his hand, and they should. They should force the hand of like, okay, if you think you're going to get this great deal, go ahead and take a look. I think that's what's going to happen.
Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis. In the Bulls, wasn't nobody coming to see Jerry Reinsdorf. ain't nobody going to Brooklyn to see Joseph Tsai. They weren't coming to Cleveland to see Dan Gilbert.
Right, but the thing was they were coming to see Kevin Durant, who had signed a 4-year contract, and now he wants to force his way out. Like he's
fan. I'll stay out of people's pockets. I don't care if these people want to be stupid enough to pay these people this money, offer them that money. That's their damn fault.
And this is going to be the same fans that's going to be mad when the lockout happens and there's no season for a whole year.
I'm coming see the player.
But you won't see anybody if there's a lockout.
And you know what I'm gonna do? Go on Instagram and see what they're doing.
Mike, last word on this.
He's not getting a haircut. I know that.
Right. He need to be on Barbershop 4.
Slander allowed. Is there a storm?
No, that's some beads and Katie's beads coming out the trees. Raining beads.
It's raining beads.
No, hold on. Wayne is. It says, Paul, you want him to play with crazy ass Kyrie and sorry ass Simmons. He wanted to play with Kyrie, Wayne.
But we didn't. Play with Kyrie. We knew Kyrie was a little loony, but we didn't know he was throwed off like that. So
the only person that could keep him in line is LeBron. And maybe that's why he wants to go to Los Angeles. But my thing is, you like Tasha said, and I agree with everybody's points, but ultimately, I agree with Mike the most. We may say, okay, go KD, go get your money, go force your trade until there's no season next year because the owners lock the players out. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah, I think in the end result, I agree, Tasha. I agree that people should run their business, their internal business of themselves, how they want to. Right. I agree with that. What we're saying is it's bad for business, it's bad for the league, and it's going to come out to the lockdown.
Yeah. And when they unlock them doors, take the chains off, cold 10. We're going to be right back in there watching them, so it don't matter.
It will matter because what KD is going to do is with him being so thirsty for a damn championship, trying to muscle his way onto another team, the players behind him like Ja and Luka won't have the same benefits that LeBron James worked so hard to in the player empowerment. Case in point, KD, do like LeBron does. Take the 1-year deal. Bet on yourself. Quit trying to take the damn max and then force your way out because you want to be greedy. Yeah. That's just greedy. You're KD. Take a 1-year deal. You can go sign 1-year deals the rest of your career and keep these teams' foot to the fire to build you a championship roster. And if they don't, you just opt out and go on about your business. And everything goes the way it goes. All right. Now, the owners are making too much money, but that's just like me not paying my power bill because you know, Ambient Energy is making billions of dollars. I mean, I still
it's like, okay.
Y'all got enough money. I ain't paying this month.
Right, look, y'all got this. Y'all already rich, likes me off like a mug. Now let's transition because I'm really curious to get you two's opinion on this. Really curious, and we don't talk about this often, so I'm kind of excited about this topic. Major League Baseball makes its debut on the show this year. They have a big weekend ahead of them. Tomorrow is the MLB draft. Monday is the home run derby. Tuesday is the All Star Game, and nobody gives a damn. Why is that, Mike?
Because they're still in the olden ways. Like they need to speed up the game. They need to put more. They need to market themselves a little bit better. They need to rebrand all the things. Like
even in Tennessee, they don't care. Wayne was like, nobody cares.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Mike.
No, I mean, nobody cares. Like I like baseball. You know, like so right. It's like
we grew up playing baseball,
and it's not just that. It's like the TV deals. Like you gotta, like here in the Rangers, you gotta have this. You gotta have one provider to have your own thing to watch this thing. I'm like, no, man, just put it on Fox. Like, let's go.
Now Wayne is using a work word on a Saturday morning. He says antiquated. Will one of you two please tell the rest of our listening audience what antiquated means?
Shit, old, outdated, out of style.
Way to use your wordplay, Wayne. We loving it. No, the comments are checking it. MLB needs more bat flips and a pitch clock. By God. Now, to go back to Mike's point real quick, and then I'm coming to you, Tasha. When I moved here to Dallas in 2008, the Rangers were good. They were great. They were going to the World Series. They had Ron, sniff them up, Washington. They had a great team. But the thing was, I didn't have cable, and I saw every game on Channel 21. I became a fan because it was accessible to me. I could watch it on Channel 21. Now you got to have some. You can't even get them on basic cable here in Texas. You got to get some abstract. Was it Valley Sports? Who the hell is that?
Yeah, I was like,
I'm not doing that. Now, Tasha, let me come to you because you're in a land that actually appreciates baseball. Go ahead and elaborate on that.
I mean, this is the home of the bat flip. This is the home of the bat flip.
And where are you again for the new members of the church?
República Dominicana.
Oh, that had a little vibrato in there. You was like, ah. All right, come on, keep going.
Baseball is very boring. Now, I do have several friends who play softball here, and I go to their softball games, and it's a little more exciting because they are, they're Dominicans and they have that flair. And I'm thinking, damn, this is softball. They're really competitive with softball down here. I've gone to a few baseball games. Baseball is something you definitely need to be there for to really kind of.
It's a great experience live. Rangers games, I've never had a bad experience at a Rangers game live.
Because most baseball, I do not watch it until I flip back and forth till it's like the 7th inning. And if it's a close game, I will watch from 7th inning on out. Because if there is a chance that there are extra innings, I want to say I watched that or I was a part of that or something like that. But baseball in itself, then the changes that they do make don't benefit anybody. Like the changes in the home run derby and all these, you putting a contest within a contest. That's stupid. Just have a pitcher, throw the ball, let the man get up there and bat and kick them out round by round. All this extra stuff. Then you're in an all-star game, but you still don't want the pizzazz. You don't want the flair. You want them to go out there and just take me out to the ball. Come on, Harry Carey, take me out with the crowd. That's all you want. That's all these baseball traditionalists want. The game is fine to them until you see somebody out there with some Beijing and a bat flip.
Now I'm like Googling Beijing because of you, Mike. Let me come back to you real quick. Me and Tasha didn't have the benefit of growing up in a baseball town. We played baseball growing up just at the parks and things of that nature, but we didn't grow up having a team to root for, so it wasn't ingrained into our deal. And a lot of the people that's watching, we didn't have a baseball team. You did. When did you see things change as far as public interest waning away from the Rangers?
I would say probably when MLB Network started getting more involved and it was more like being shown. I mean, kind of like to your point, to what I was saying earlier is like, how am I going to pay? And I have, I pay for, cable or whatnot, and I still can't even watch the Rangers play.
Right.
And even if I do
get on the planet and can't find a Rangers game.
Even if I get their app, they're like, you're in a blackout area. And I'm like, what are you talking about? So I gotta use my secret VPN to pretend I'm here, but I have to watch it here. And I'm like, man, I don't want to have to do all that.
Right.
And to what they were saying, I don't think the 4-hour limit of a baseball game is the problem because let's be real. Football fans, our games are about almost 4 hours, and then we'll watch the pre and post game, and then we'll watch. So I don't think that's the issue.
A Michigan game is a 6-hour experience for me between the pre-game, the post-game, and the actual game.
Because I'm getting up, I got my clothes on like I'm there.
Right.
I don't think that's the problem. I think they have to start marketing themselves to, like let's say you're cleaning the house on a Saturday morning or Saturday afternoon. You have the game accessible so that you can quickly turn it on and just have it in the background.
And have it in the background. It's a good game to have in the background because you can learn a lot about the game. The commentary is fantastic when there's good chemistry in the booth, where they're explaining what's going on and things of that nature.
It can't be dull chemistry for sure. We all know we've listened to those baseball games. It's like,
and that's why playoff baseball is so exciting.
Mm-hmm. And
right. And radio baseball is excellent. Like Chuck Liddell does a great job on Rangers radio. Now, Tasha, let me come to you because this was actually on my questions list. Now, with Mike and his heritage, not so much because they still are heavily invested in the game. But when we grew up, Tasha, there were African-American stars in baseball. We had the Barry Bonds, the Ricky Hendersons. We even had Bo Jackson and Deion Sanders for a time. What happened? Where did the disconnect start between the African-American community and most importantly with Gen Z? Because regardless of race, Gen Z's not watching.
And I hate to say this, it's because, and don't take this the wrong way, because I'm black to the core and I'm always going to support black unless you're doing some foolish mess. The game takes too much concentration. And I don't think a lot of black people want to dedicate that time to it.
Need more excitement. You're saying like the up and down pace of a basketball or a football game.
When you got little boys who are playing baseball, you got black boys playing baseball, football, and basketball. Why would I stand here, gotta wait to see if I'm gonna get a hit? Then if I don't hit, I gotta run on the field. If a ball doesn't come my way, I'm gonna stand there. I don't want to do this. Okay, come back in. Is it my turn to hit? If you know. Whereas if they playing football, they know if I'm on the offense, I'm going to play on this offense. When the whistle blow, I'm back out there, I'm going to do something. I don't know when I'm going to get back in because if he gets a turnover, then I got to put my helmet back on and run back out there. Basketball, I got to run up and down this court to, coach pull me out. I need some rest. I get my water.
And there's high-flying athletic plays happening.
Right. So I know that the way I said that sounded a little thrown off, but me personally, I have the attention span of a gnat.
And oh my God, you are walking me right into the lead-in question because that's where I want to pick up with you, Mike. Mike, you got two Gen Zers downstairs right now.
Yeah.
Do they watch baseball?
Nope. To Tasha's point, as soon as we got these cell phones and devices in their hands, like they don't want, their attention span, like to TikToks and things, there's reduced seconds for a reason is because they can quickly watch 10 seconds and then move on.
And it takes 10 seconds for the guy to adjust his crotch and spit on the ground before he throws another pitch.
My attention span is so short, I don't even like to watch videos. Like, I don't watch TikTok. I don't watch Reels.
I know you saw me in the video.
True.
I know you heard me on the radio.
True.
But you still don't pay me no attention. Hey, listen. I'm sorry, Mike. Go ahead, Tasha.
But my attention span is very short. So if me as a player, now I'm not saying this because I would love to see more Black people in the game of baseball. We have one of our own who is a very, very good baseball player. Shouts out to one, Elijah Fernandez. He's going to high school. He don't want to play baseball. And Elijah is talented.
He is. And everything he's picked up, he's done great. My nephew Carter, he's almost 6 feet tall already at 8 years old. He does not want anything to do with baseball. He would rather play soccer, football, or basketball. He has no interest in baseball at all. Now, Wayne, this is why I wish we could actually get you to call in or something.
Wayne, you need to come on.
They instituted travel ball and it ruined the game for the Black men.
Yeah.
I don't know how to elaborate on that because I didn't play it in a team sport growing up. But that's interesting. I'm going to do some looking up on that.
What he means is like they started doing more travel leagues, which is like a select team. These select teams, you pay thousands of dollars.
Way to go, Mike, our brother.
Yeah.
He's our brother whisperer.
And you think about it, most of us cannot afford that. Even if you have every day, it could be Black, white, Latino, Asian. Ain't nobody got that kind of money. The average
that's a huge investment.
That kind of money.
Oh yeah.
And y'all know where my child went to school. Everybody played everything. Volleyball at Brentwood High School is so competitive. If you're in the 7th grade, if you're not already on travel volleyball, you can cancel making volleyball in high school. Right. And because you have select athletes. And then with the baseball team, baseball at Brentwood High School is the hardest to make. Sasha's friend, shouts out to my Dominican brother, David Pimentel. He is the only freshman to ever make Brentwood High School baseball in history of the school. But he's also Dominican and he could ball. You could not deny putting him on the field. But
is there a fix to this with Major League Baseball? Mike, Tasha, both of y'all chime in.
Like Mike said, even though Mike said, yeah, we watch football for 4 hours. Football and basketball are action-packed. Like I watch hockey. Wayne said baseball is hockey. Hockey is more action-packed than baseball. The only time I get up for baseball is if somebody's going to get a no-hitter. Yes. If somebody's on the verge of getting a no-hitter, I'm going to watch. If somebody
and the Texas Rangers pitcher had a scoreless game going into the 9th inning, nobody watched, nobody cared. It wasn't like
it's not accessible, just like what Mike said.
I couldn't find it on TV. Right.
I think the only way. Go ahead, Tasha.
I mean, it's like what Wayne and Mike are both said. Like Mike said, you got iPhones, you got you got all this stuff. Children are not going outside. And then to Wayne's point, if you had a child that wanted to go outside, it's nothing there for them to do. Also, because it goes back to we're always, oh my God, please I hope I didn't delete this. My friend put this post out and I laughed. And it was a photo of a child blowing into a fan. And she was, here it is. It says 7-year-olds today, iPhones, iPads, AirPods, us when we were 7, and it shows the children blowing into the fan.
Right, trying to sound like Darth Vader.
Because and I got a
Right.
fan back here, and I did it 2 weeks ago, and I'm not gonna lie, I did. My ass got in that fan, was like la 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 la. But it's not accessible to a lot of inner city youths, and they have so many other vices.
Right. It's hard to keep the TikTok generation engaged for 4 hours like that. Now, Mike, last word on this. Thing is, baseball doesn't think they have a problem, so it won't change. You agree?
Right.
Yeah, for sure. It's ran by the older generation for sure. I think it definitely needs a newer mind in there. It needs like a millennial to be somewhat on the board, because I think
a 30-year-old commissioner would do them great.
At least we have Gen Z kids, so that we can say, like, for my solve, it would be almost like, okay, well, if they are going to be on their devices, let's slowly incorporate the team in the names, because once you're included in the names, then you're like, oh, okay, yeah, like Pudge Rodriguez, yeah. Right. But something to be like, okay, if you're watching on TV, you can easily get a baseball game that's synced to your team, that you can be on that team, and you're like, oh man, Nolan Ryan did great today. You know, he was pitching for our team. You know, so. Right. Slowly gets, and maybe it's Wi-Fi, so it's like if you're in the stadium, they can still watch the game on their device or whatever. Right. I don't know, just small changes like that. You don't have to change the game to change the game.
I just don't think baseball is fun to a lot of people, because one thing I do notice about here, it's not so much of it being fun. They trying to survive here. They're going to put their child on that, like my friend texted me last night. He was like, they call me Lady T down here. He said, Lady T, it's a softball game down here. Like, that's what we do. We get up and we go watch baseball here because it is so exciting. But these people are trying to survive off of this baseball.
It almost sounds like Rucker Park, where people are trying to get the best of the best come together to try to get out of there and better their lives for themselves.
And this is not even system, because the Dominican Republic does have a government funded baseball. Those are the ones that they really push to go to the major leagues. But most of the hidden talent is in these small softball fields. The little boy that I call my son, Jason, he plays softball by the prison at 7:00 at night. I'm tired, but he'll say, hey, mama, are you going to come watch me play? I go and watch. Jason was in the system, but Jason is also this tall. But the system thought he had enough talent to pay for him to play baseball.
Which goes back to resources being a problem for a certain segment, and accessibility being a problem for another segment. Baseball has a lot to clean up. Are you even watching the All Star Game Tuesday, Mike?
Nope.
Damn. You, Tasha? That makes 3 of us. I ain't watching it either. So with that being said, that was great insight. I learned a lot on that topic. Good job by everybody involved. So with that being said, we're going to tap into Tasha's T-Sizzle's top 5. And this week is going to be her top 5 MLB sluggers, not NBL, Mike. Her top MLB sluggers of all time. Tasha, the floor is yours.
Now, I'm taking out, of course, again, like I always say, people that I did not see. Like I got Hank Aaron's, Willie Mays, people like that. You know, I sold Brother Babe Ruth, who could, hide. I'm taking all of those type people off the list.
I didn't put Ruth on my list either.
So
only because I didn't see him play. Yeah,
exactly. That's what I did too.
I got Miggy Miguel Cabrera.
Oh, I forgot about him.
Now, again, this is when I was really watching baseball. So these are the players that I was familiar with who did something to me. Even
we came up during the golden era for us.
I mean, yeah. I mean, and Miggy's still playing, so he's, kind of the current.
And Mike too, because that's when the home run started really coming into play when Mike came along, his generation.
I got Frank Thomas.
Damn, I forgot about him. The ED guy. What's up, Shamika? No, he's the ED. He does the ED commercials.
I have the Hawk, Andre Dawson.
Your list is okay. You know your baseball.
Yeah, you okay.
And I know
she's going into the weeds.
I know this one is going to be controversial, but I always say he needs to be in the Hall of Fame.
Barry Bonds.
Yeah, Barry Bonds, because pre head swelling, when he was, with the Killer Bees and with the Pittsburgh Pirates, with Bobby Bonilla. Shouts out to Bobby Bonilla. He just had Bobby Bonilla Day, July 1st.
We did. He is the biggest pimp of all. Go ahead, keep going.
He had over 400 home runs. And the last season, pre head swelling, I think he had like 350. So Bonds' numbers are always going to be up there to me, and I always appreciate Barry Bonds before the steroids. And come on, Ken Griffey Jr.
I was wondering if he was going to make your list. Mike,
You
who did she leave off the list?
All right, so I agree with you on King Griffey Jr., Frank Thomas.
Absolutely. Yes.
I have Barry Bonds on here as well.
I do too.
I have Albert Pujols.
You got to be from Texas to respect that. I'm thinking of Pudge Rodriguez.
I don't trust Albert Pujols. I think somewhere it's a dirty test that they just ain't gonna never put out.
He's still playing.
That's why I didn't put him on my list.
And then I have David Ortiz because that boy was slamming. Well, he beat the Yankees. Well,
Big Papi David Ortiz come back from 3-0 to run down the Youngsters. Now y'all are kind of disrespectful because y'all left off some notable names. I didn't leave off nobody. I don't care if you got the jab. I don't care.
Okay. I did honorable mention Sammy Sosa, Mark McGwire.
No, I got both Sammy Sosas in there. Dog Sammy and Light Sammy. That's two of them.
How do you get out of here?
I got Dog and Light Sammy, the 2-piece bucket. Dark and white meat. I got both of Sammy's. How y'all leave out Mark McGwire and Jose Canseco?
They're not on my list.
Yeah, I would put Pudge above Jose Canseco, and I have
Pudge is like Jesus here.
Yeah, Pudge.
Right, Pudge was a better player
before, but I just didn't put them because their numbers didn't get popular, or no one was paying attention to them until they juiced. Now Jose
Go back to juicing because I cared then when they would do to Mike's point, and this proves your point, Mike. Back in '98, when it was dark meat Sammy and Mark McGwire. They would do live cut-ins on regular TV on their at-bats when they got close to 60, right? You remember you watching the Cosby Show, Sammy Sosa's up, and he'd be like...
Yeah.
Dark meat Sammy.
Y'all can't leave them off the list. And what about A-Rod? How y'all don't show him no love?
No, absolutely not. He tried to say that he was cheating.
My list every week. I can't stand y'all.
He tried to say he was cheating in Texas when he came over here. He's like he felt like he felt like he had to cheat. Mike, man,
you was cheating in Seattle, you was cheating in Texas, and you was cheating in New York.
He was cheating in the next room.
Cheating in the next room.
I can't believe y'all left off A-Rod, dark and white Sammy Sosa, Mark McGwire, and Jose Canseco. Jose was the man.
That was your list?
But he was the man.
That was
your list. Hate my list every week. I'm going to stop playing.
Paul, that was your list?
Yes. It was Hank Aaron, Barry Bonds, A-Rod, dark and white Sammy, Mark McGwire, and Jose Canseco.
I mean, again, I left, Willie, to say, hey, kid, Willie Mays. I left all of them off. Because
look, Shamika, is any of mine a beast? You want to comment? No comments?
No.
Well, damn it, we going to the shout-outs then. Forget all of y'all. Tasha tells me my list be trash, but I'm going to get one of these right one day. Tasha, who you shouting out today?
I'm shouting out. I have two shout-outs. I'm going to make them quick. One, we missed this. Ja Morant. Did you guys see the clip when he was in the restaurant? And
yes.
The woman didn't know who he was.
Black Jesus.
He gave her a $500 tip.
But don't call yourself Black Jesus. Black people don't play like that.
Especially if you saw Black Jesus on Netflix.
No, especially remember the Black Jesus episode on Good Times when he was the Good Luck Charm and Florida was like, take that down.
Yes.
We don't play about no Black Jesus. Stop it, Ja.
Jesus is black, so it's okay. And then
keep going, Tasha, please.
And then secondly, I want to shout out my brothers of the DR Network who are here. This is our reunion weekend. Again, I'm the only woman in this network. So this is our reunion network. Our network reunion week. We have some new inductees that we're going to add. And what we do here in the Dominican Republic, we try to go to an impoverished area, which there are many, and we donate money. Like if there's a basketball court, we donate, services to, fix the basketball court up. We're going to do a baseball field. We're going to pay some people to come now and clean out a baseball field where we do go and watch people play. But it's so, you really can't tell it's a baseball field. So we're going to pay. So we are collecting money now. We're going to pay to get that cleaned off so it can be a little cleaner because it's in one of the worst areas, but the kids are still out there playing baseball. And of course, we're going to have a little foolery, little effery going on. So,
surely.
Shouts out. That's why I got my Hannibal Lecter on today. This is Tiffany Rose.
I have one of those.
My
I love the hat, by the way. Nice job.
So
Mike,
I'm
I'm going to
going-
jump you this week on
So
my
I'm going
shout-out
to the
because
I'm going
this
to the
is a joint
city
shout-out with me and
when we
Tasha.
get off of here. But go ahead. I know what you're gonna say.
We want to give a shout-out to the Hasso family. There's going to be a new Hasso in the house. Baby Hasso. All right. Mike, way to clench them hips. This was for Junior. Seriously, shouts out to the lovely Stacey Hasso. I got the privilege of seeing her last week after going months without seeing her. She is a baby bump blossoming. She looks great. Baby Hasso is on the way. So there were so many times when we accidentally almost said it on the show. We wanted to let Mike present it to the world first before we gave him his flowers. I cannot wait for my niece and nephew to get here because they're going to be one spoiled baby. MDN baby section, here we come.
Come on,
Mike,
Little baby Jay.
baby Jay's coming, and we cannot
Is that
wait.
the name?
No.
Oh,
To be continued on that one.
Man,
Everyone just calls him baby
boy. They're going to name him Denard Robinson Hasso. No?
No.
Okay, Mike, you get the last word for the week.
No, I thought you were saying Jace, as in if it's a girl or a boy, we're gonna name it Jace.
All right. My shout out is gonna go to. I have an
Stacey.
esports shout out. Yeah, and
Oh.
Stacy.
Right, Stacey, who deserves the shout out.
The carrier.
I have a shout out for my esports community out there. They had a big competition in the Apex gaming world. It was a $5 million total prize pool.
Damn.
The winners got $2 million, and Dark Zero ended up winning 2 years in a row. So congrats.
Mike, are you on this team? How can we get on the E team?
Almost, man. I've been playing, throwing some,
Well, that explains that new air conditioner unit. Mike, you lied to us.
Right, and you over there in Hawaii and coming back to all these packages on the porch. Hell, I thought you was moving bricks. You didn't tell me you was just playing games. By the way, Shamika, love that profile picture. That looks very, very beautiful.
Yeah, you look pretty, Shamika.
Right, I love that profile picture. Thank you for all of the friends of the show that checked in. Thank you for all of those who taught me about baseball today. Thanks for the banter. We will see y'all in 6 days in about 23 hours. Until then, go blue.
Go blue.
Dun,
Peace.
dun, 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 dun,
Sing it.
dun,
Hey.
dun, 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 dun.